welcome to Extra Dose, a behind-the-scenes look at streaming, comedy, and mental health.
This is our second episode, everyone. I'm so excited!
Yay! I'm super excited. If you don't know, Extra Dose is a monthly late-night show where we discuss topics in gaming and entertainment with experts in the field. I'm your host, Abi Kadabura.
And I'm your amazing co-host, Mari Yume. Last episode, we talked about loneliness, burnout, and mental health in the content creation sphere. But for today's episode, we decided to take a full 180 and talk about something, well, comedy.
Today, we'll be chatting with Jay Miller, a former writer and producer for one of the biggest comedy shows ever, Impractical Jokers. And he has also been a writer and producer for several other shows, including his own New York late-night show, Mid-Evenings. And he was even, once upon a time, a big streamer on Periscope.
So, if you want to learn how to be funny, what it takes to become a professional comedian, and the juicy behind-the-scenes secrets of comedy and the streaming world, then you'll love what Jay has to say, which I'm so excited, by the way, because I've been a huge fan of Impractical Jokers for so long.
Don't say it in front of him. Don't say it in front of him. Embarrassing. No, we don't even know what. What is that? Oh, no. Be chill, Mari. Without any further ado, let's introduce our guest, Jay Miller!
Yay!
Woo!
Oh my gosh, what an intro. Hey, so listen, I didn't know what to wear for this, so I have several different hats and jackets. And so I'm just going to keep changing throughout. So,
Are you going to get naked at any point?
No, I'm not going to get naked at any point.
If there are enough donations, could you get naked at any point?
No, nobody wants that.
I don't think YouTube would like that, Abby.
No. Give me a number through 1 through 7.
3.
12.
3. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, this is my favorite hat.
Oh boy! Oh god!
Oh,
god!
boy.
We gotta
Drum roll,
stand
please.
up. Oh boy!
This is it's not exciting. This is just my favorite hat. I bought it 8 years ago. It's an extra large hat, and I've worn it so many times. And then only recently, I put it in the washing machine. I don't know why I didn't think you could wash hats, but I put it in a washing machine, and now it's like a brand new hat. It's very exciting.
That's your favorite hat?
This is my favorite hat. Why?
You look
Why is
like
it-
you're gonna. You look like you're about to go camping or like on a hunting trip and stuff.
A hunting trip.
Okay,
You look like you
listen.
shoot animals. And that's an
Yeah,
animal
yeah.
fur coat.
Isn't this on
Listen.
mental health? You guys can't judge me on what my favorite hat is.
No, we're taking 180. This time it's about affecting people's mental health. I think it is that part.
Gosh. Well, it's working. Can we do another 180? Because I love this hat, and I like this jacket is fun.
The jacket is fun. It's giving bear.
I'll change again in 10 minutes, okay? Don't worry.
He's
To
not gonna
maybe
sell
something
us
that you guys
anything.
approve of.
He's hiding the hat because he got embarrassed. Yes!
I
What
was
is
gonna
this?
say he's not gonna sell us anything, right? Like, cause I'm sorry, but you. I know this is your favorite hat. I
looks like a
don't mean this in any way, but you really do look like one of those like
What is-
NPCs that you
going
come
on?
up to and you're about to sell us something. Like, I don't know why.
They're making fun of my hat. I thought this was supposed to be not. I don't
Jay,
know.
we
what's
know you're not talking to anyone because you're lonely.
Wow. Okay. At first, I was embarrassed about putting my neck warmer on, but now I don't. In 10 minutes, I'm gonna put the Ben Gay on my neck. I don't feel like I
I'm
need
sorry.
to be
It's
embarrassed
called
of
a
anything
what?
now.
That's a what?
What's
That's
a
not
what?
real. That's not a real item.
Is
You've
that
never heard
cross?
of Ben Gay?
No.
I don't know who Ben is, but that's not a real item. Wait,
He's
is
ultra
how do you think
strong.
Oh, it's up. What do you think? I bought fake cream?
I think so, yeah.
There's nothing gay about this cream because if you put it on any of your special areas, it will.
Your head, you're the top part of your head.
No, it burns. It's like, oh my gosh.
Jay, would you mind
Oh.
introducing yourself? Because we've been going off for a bit, and I think people are like, who the hell is this man?
No, now I don't want to say who I am.
Everybody, this is Jay. He has some Ben Gay cream.
How do I become a cartoon like you guys?
I asked you if you wanted to become a cartoon. I was going to make you a cartoon.
And then what happened?
You said, you
You-
said, I'm too old. I don't know how to do technology. So
No, because you told me I had to download something.
Oh yeah, you do have to download that stuff. Well, okay. First of all, you're not too old because what? You've been you've been doing what you've been doing for how long now? I feel like if you're able to still be creative, you could definitely learn how to be animated up on the screen.
That's actually true.
I mean, probably. I think I'm at the age I just want someone to animate me and just tell me.
Next time you come on the
You're
show,
animated.
we will live rig your face. How do you feel about that?
Oh, next time?
If we bully you enough, it'll
Spoilers.
be the horseshoe theory. So you'll like us again. We just gotta bully you. We gotta commit to bullying you a little harder.
What's the
Horseshoe theory? Wouldn't that be what you bully me and then you don't, but then wouldn't it end with you just bullying me again?
No, if you bully someone enough, it's like if you're enough to the left, you end up being right. It's a horseshoe theory. It's kind of like a... At the end of the day, both spectrums of anything are the same. Whether it's off bullying or being nice, being overly nice or overly mean kind of end up being the same thing. Yeah, take notes.
Is this
Learn
is this
from
an
me.
online thing? Because I took a book because I feel like you guys are going to say a bunch of things I've never heard before.
Oh, wait, that's actually wholesome.
You took notes? Huh? Okay,
No,
fine.
I'm going.
All right.
I was going to take notes, but now I lost my pen, and I feel like, oh, here it is. I'm
I feel like
back.
you're gonna whip it out of somewhere funny now. Okay.
No, not everything I do
not-
is funny. Almost
But we
nothing.
want
I
to
do
learn
is
how to
funny.
be funny because I'm gonna be honest, like, you know, you two are funny and you do funny things. I try to be funny, then I get canceled on Twitter. So, like, I don't know how to be funny.
You got canceled?
Well, I
Every
mean,
week.
they try.
What did you say? Can we discuss what you said, or that's too
I
dangerous?
told somebody to grow up.
Oh, well, who'd you say it to? A baby?
Maybe. That's how they were acting, so, you know.
Can't say you can't say grow up to someone.
No, you can't. Other because it hurts people's feelings, which I'm actually, like, in all seriousness, that is something that I actually struggle with is trying to learn, like, what are appropriate things to say when telling a joke, because I feel like when I do try to joke, not saying that, like, you know, the grow up was, like, necessarily a joke, but when I actually do try to tell jokes, or if I try to, like, make some kind of funny comment, people take me so seriously and they think like I'm just straight up like insulting them, and I have a hard time understanding how to convey that I'm telling an actual joke and how to get someone to understand that without them being so offended.
Oh, I mean that's difficult because what you're saying has to have a bit of an exaggeration to it, but it can't be too exaggerated that it's silly, but it can't be so subtle that it's true. So it kind of has to like be on that line, if that makes any sense.
Do you have
But
like...
I'm a,
No,
go ahead. I was gonna say, but I'm a cartoon on screen. Is anything that I say actually that serious?
Well, yeah. Yeah, things that you say are serious. You're like right now, you're like, how do I get taken, how do people find me more funnier? Like, are you being serious about that, or?
Yes. See, now this is
You're being sassy right now, Jay.
Boom. Caught ya.
Okay, all right.
Bye, everyone.
Drop my mic, break my mic on the floor, Jay.
Oh boy. Okay.
well,
I guess he's for reals then, Abby. All right.
So, I mean, we'll get into a bunch of different topics, but since we already started, we kind of went deep into the, how to be funny, which I think is a thing, whether you do comedy, you do content, or you just have friends, like, people want to be funny. There was something I read about how when you're called unfunny, it is, like, the most painful thing that you can be called, because comedy is considered one of the most crucial ways that humans connect. Like, if you laugh at the same things, like, that's kind of how you determine whether you get along. So with that being said, like, do you have any tips on how do you find that balance between going too far or not going far enough? I know I'm always bantering with my chat, and sometimes I will go too far or they will go too far. Like, how do you develop that barometer of, like, reading the room so you get just the right level of, like, irony or heightening that it, like, lands? Do you have any tips on that?
I mean, that's all hard because I feel, at least for me, comedy is such an innate thing. You know, I was class clown, you know, from kindergarten on. So just knowing how to make people laugh, like I don't know if I could tell people how to do that. you know. So
Okay, well maybe
goodbye,
we can
everyone.
kind of maybe we can kind of like ease up to, you know, explaining like the overall concept of it. Like first of all, like why don't you like tell us about your journey about becoming a comedian and producer, because I'm sure people would like to know. First of all, I would like to know how you ended up working for Impractical Jokers, and like I'd like to learn more about like your own late night show. So why don't you tell us like your journey a little bit?
Oh, my journey. I let's see. First did comedy when I was 22 years old. There's was a very popular club in New York called Caroline's Comedy Club,
Oh,
and
rip.
they had a comedy themed restaurant above it, and I was a waiter there, and I was a terrible waiter, but I was very funny, and so it all worked. It was the only place you could be a bad waiter, because I'd go up to the table, I'd take their order, and then they'd be like, "Where is our order?" Because I would forget to hit like fire, or I'd forget to send it, and they'd be like, "Where's our
God.
food? It's been 20 minutes," and I'd be like, "Ah, waka waka," and then like
Oh my god.
run to the chef and be like, "Make a hamburger ASAP." And then I started doing comedy, but I did not enjoy it at all. And I still have this. I do not enjoy like repeating the same like stand-up set over and over. I feel like I always want to change it. And I also just don't like doing proper stand-up. So I like doing stuff that's a little weirder and different. But I don't go that way because being a comedian, the people that you want to accept you the most are your peers. So when you do stuff that's not straight stand-up, other stand-ups are like, wow, that's like prop comedy or musical comedy, and it's like looked down upon. So I want to be respected amongst them. So I do a thing that I don't really enjoy doing because I want these people who I don't really care about to like me. So then I don't do the thing that I want to do. So then I just end up not doing anything. So that's
Man,
my
that
journey.
is so real. Holy cow. Like I feel like, you know,
Cheers.
yeah, I was gonna say that's real. Man, because if you think about it, I feel like a lot of creators, regardless if you're a comedian, a content creator, or I don't know, you're an Instagrammer or something, I think a lot of us just want to be accepted by people who we may idolize or people who we respect. And even though it's like, yes, it is nice to have like the people who are actually entertaining, you know, the people that we should be caring about, you know, the viewers, we still have like a part of ourselves who just want to feel like what our stuff is validated, and I find that very interesting actually.
Yeah, I mean, the people. Oh, give me another number from 1 through 10.
12.
That's not even. I said 1 through 10.
8. Sorry, I'm don't smart.
Anime
this is
girls
okay.
don't need to count.
This is
Oh, God.
This is an okay habit.
When you're as cute as I am, Jay, you don't have to, okay? One day you'll get your own VTuber girl and you'll know what it's like.
I have a fun story about this hat and jacket. Well, not just the jacket. Okay.
That's really swag.
Okay.
Okay, now
we
this
got
looks way better. Abby, good job.
Oh yeah, I like the light scheme.
Oh, I already forgot what we were talking about. Oh, the people who really become successful are the people who don't care what other people think and don't care what their either their viewers or the audience. Like, you can't care what they think. You have to do stuff that you think is good and you believe in, and then it'll find an audience, or it won't. You know, but once you start kind of making content for your audience, then I think there's a realness, there's a genuineness that comes from someone being like, I like this and I'm doing it and I'm enjoying it, and you're like, oh, it doesn't feel not quite as deep as pandering or strong as pandering. But you can tell when someone's like, oh, they really enjoy what they're doing, or they really believe in this, and then you kind of get on board on that. And I think that's the best way to build an audience, is just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this weird thing, and either people are gonna like it or they're not.
And that's why I became a VTuber.
Boom.
Actually, How does it feel to like? Okay, I know I want to hear your story about your outfit, but real quick, how does it feel to be talking to two anime girls online? In your years, since you said you were 22 and you got into this, could you ever imagine you be talking to like someone like me and Abby? Like, is this like, I don't know, like how does this feel? Is this like the weird thing that we're just kind of vibing with?
I mean, I have no idea what's happening. Or are you, when people watch this, what are they looking at?
They're looking
Do
at.
they see me? But what do you guys look like?
Wait, like, do you want to see? Wait, right now.
Yes.
I'm gonna send you a screenshot of what it looks like. It looks neat, actually. So you're proud of
Yeah.
me. Yeah, it looks neat.
Neat?
Not neat.
Yeah. I
wanna talk about-
N-E-E-T. N-E-A-t.
It's really-
02, 12. I have something to say about the word neat from 32 years ago. Oh my God, this is like Space Coast to Coast. Do you know what Space Coast to Coast is?
No.
No, but I can Google it.
Oh my
I should,
God.
I
We
feel-
now have, we have 3 things to talk about. Okay, hold on. We got to talk about my jacket. We got to talk about neat, and we got to talk about Space Coast. And we'll talk about Brack also with that, and the resurgence of Brack. That Space Ghost is very topical right now. This jacket, when I was doing my show, I did it at it was called it wasn't a late night show. It was a mid-evening show because it aired around like 8, 9 o'clock. So,
Oh, I see. Sorry.
and really no one has cornered the mid-evening talk show market.
Okay.
And someone left this jacket, and oh no. Oh wait, I'm getting a phone call. Stop. How do I stop it?
You good? Do you need to pick up?
But it's okay. I'll let it go.
Do you want to pick
go-
up? Is it like a biddy? Like, am I ruining your like night?
No. I'm working next week. I'm going out on just a one show with Sal Volcano from the Impractical Jokers. You might have heard of him.
Oh my God, your mug! Oh my gosh, I
I'll
can
be
shoot.
in. You know, I did not even plan this. I swear it.
I swear, it's like he's bullying me, Abby. It's not fair.
You should be more excited that you're talking to Jay than Sal, Mari.
Well, I'll show you more. I'm going to show you more mugs. I'm going to put that on the list of things to talk about because
Oh my gosh, Jay is so easy to interview. Like, this is the swellest episode I think we'll ever have.
No, I'm going to be with Sal in Oklahoma City next Thursday night. So if anyone wants to come and say hello.
You're performing there?
No, he asked me to open, and I actually said no because just tour managing and like just already tour managing. There's a lot going on, and then being nervous about doing stand up, it was just going to be too much.
I googled Space Ghost. I guess I saw this at some point in my time, and I did not realize that's what this was. The fact that you're able to reference something that is so like nostalgic for probably a lot of our viewers watching this is phenomenal. I remember watching this. I just didn't know that's what this was called because I think I was way too young to know what was going on. I just Googled it and I'm like, I have seen this. And you know what? Our set kind of does remind me of it.
That's so
100%.
Yeah,
I love
we're
it.
changing
I love
the
it.
game, and this is something from like the 90s where.
That's
I think, yeah, this is
insane.
very fun. So this jacket was hanging up in the studio, and I loved it so much, so I stole the jacket, and I made a Snapchat story of me stealing the jacket, and it became, I mean, amongst my fans, which again, I didn't have a lot of fans. I had a very small fan base,
You're
but they
referring
were.
to your streaming times or time with Impractical Jokers?
You know, mid evenings and went into streaming. So that whole
Oh.
time, that story of Michael stealing Michael's jacket was people. Anytime I post this, people will respond, "That's Michael's jacket." And I was gonna see like if I could find it, but maybe I'll send it to you guys if you care. I don't know if that's a thing.
We
The
can have it
jacket?
post- Yeah, send us the no. You want a
No, I'm
signed
not sending
jacket?
you a jacket. And this is just a Beastie Boys hat that my sister bought for me for my birthday.
The nice one.
The second thing we were going to talk about is neat. I love Madonna, and her concert movie Truth or Dare came out in 1992, and Kevin Costner, who's one of the biggest actors in the world, came backstage to say hello to her, and she was excited to meet him, and she was like, "What'd you think of the show?" And he goes, "It was neat." And she was like, "Neat," and then she made fun of him for saying neat. And that kind of killed the word neat for many years.
You know what's really funny about that? Neat means something different in like Japanese culture. So like I thought you were gonna
It's like a hikikomori, kind of a neat. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like someone who's kind of shut-in.
Yeah, it's a shut-in, someone who like doesn't have like a job, typically like consumes a lot of like either video game or hobbyist type of content or like anime. Like it's just they're kind of viewed pretty badly in like Japanese society because they don't want to like really do anything. It's a touchy subject, so I was like, oh, is he gonna go into that? I didn't realize that there was another word.
Yeah, there's a lot of things regarding that.
Neat? Like that's pretty cool. That's neat.
Yeah, yeah, that's so funny. You're such a VTuber that the first thing you think of when you hear neat is NEET capitalized.
Well, because it means not in an employment, education, or training. Like, it's literally people... And here's the thing, like, there's, like, a specific, like, bracket for it, too. It's usually between, like, 16 to 18 who aren't, like, doing anything for education, employment, or training. And, like,
people
that
accept
kind of...
that education, employment, and training sucks. It's people who are based.
Yeah,
TLDR.
yeah.
Did you say bracket? Speaking of bracket, Space Ghost Coast to Coast had a sidekick named Brack, who was so funny. He then had the Brack Show on the Cartoon Network also. And he recently started posting on Twitter because people found out that Brack, this beloved voice character, is like, he does like DoorDash. He makes zero money from anything Space Ghost. And he's getting like all this attention and getting built up on Twitter, and like everyone is so happy for him, and he is like so like humbled and being like, thank you guys so much, and hopefully it leads to him maybe making some money. But it's just so sad that Brack, this guy that we've loved for years and years, is like doesn't get any money, doesn't get nothing for all the work he's done. So
that's fascinating. Yeah, shout out to him.
This is a mug that I broke about 2 weeks ago, and I'm so upset about it. But a fan made it for me, and it was just a bunch of screenshots of me when I was streaming.
You said you didn't have a big fan base, and you're telling me a fan sent you, made you a mug and sent it to you? That sounds to me like you had a pretty, at least a dedicated fan base here. That's amazing.
A small but dedicated fan base. They sent me so much stuff. I started by doing cooking. I would get Blue Apron, and then I would cook on stream, but I didn't know how. And they would send, they pretty much furnished my entire kitchen because, you know, I own like 3 forks. And they would be like, oh, and then they would send me forks. They sent me an air fryer. It's the best thing anyone has ever sent me.
That's a good segue to the next question, Abby.
Oh, well, next question is give me a number from 1 through 10. Am I talking too much? Sorry.
No, you're the guest. You're supposed to yap.
No, you're good. You started talking about your other jobs, and I was like, oh my god, Abby, does he know what I was about to ask him next?
And he refused to hear the questions ahead of time, y'all.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, how did he know that's what we were gonna ask him next?
He has a sixth sense. He doesn't need us to tell him the questions. You'll know.
Well, here's the thing. I have a need to control the situation. I think it's
God, he's
like
talking and changing.
Talk show stuff. So I'm let me know if I'm doing too much.
No, you're doing perfect.
Okay, this hat I just bought a week ago. Oh my god, it's already broken. Oh, it just broke as I put it on my head.
Where were you trying to put the hat on that it broke?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Are you trying to brag about your big
cream?
This is also my favorite jacket. I'm ready for you guys to get mad about this.
Wait, mad?
But this hat
we don't care enough to get mad, Jay.
This hat was $2 at this Amazon store, and now I see why.
Wait, $2?
It was $2.
Wait, Amazon store. Wait, there's an Amazon store?
No, there's a store near me that it says Amazon on it, and they sell everything in the store. Each day it has a different price, which is crazy. Like if you go in on a Monday, everything is $8. But on Tuesday, everything is suddenly $5. By Friday, it's like you buy a bag, it's like anything you could fit in your bag for $5.
Wait,
it's crazy.
Or
And
do you
they
think
sell
they're
these hats.
scamming you? Like maybe like you came in one day and they're like, oh, he looks like a doofus. It's $10. But the next day you were like dressed really cool, so they're like, oh, let's charge him $2. Like, do you think maybe they're just like playing with you?
I bet you he went in there and they're like, yeah, he
no.
looks like a guy that would buy Ben Gay cream.
Oklahoma City is calling me. No, Ben Gay Cream is not
Do you
Oh my
wait? Is it for your
gosh.
job? Do you have to pick it up for your job? Take it.
I mean, I probably should. I gotta.
It's okay. Tap the top of your mic. You mute yourself. Pick up your call. Tap the top of your mic. Top. Just tap it. You're good.
Yeah.
We can't hear you anymore.
Okay, we can't hear you now.
No, you can keep
Yeah,
the
no,
camera. Keep the camera on. I want to see your expressions. Keep it on. I want to keep yapping on his ears. He's trying to take the phone call.
So,
Blah, 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 blah.
Abby, dude, they change the prices for every day. Do you know what that means? We should go there. We should totally go there, okay? And what we do is we buy everything there, and then we sign it, and then we sell it for like 3 times the price.
Ooh, marketing schemes, unethical marketing with Mari. Well, he seems annoyed. Let's double. He's saying he's going, I don't want to go to Oklahoma anymore. Oh, yeah, I learned what NEAT is today, by the way. Here, let me pull up my notes. Yeah, so NEAT is N-E-E-T. Apparently, it's a difficult topic, so he's trying to mute me right now. He's like, okay, I need Abby to shut up.
He's probably like, yo, dude, you're not gonna believe this. I'm talking to these 2 anime things on screen right now. Like, bro, let me take a picture of it. You see that one with the ears? Yeah, that's the one that I had to wear that hunter outfit and take it out back later.
Tap the top of your mic if you want to talk
if you want-
again. Jay. No, he's back on the call. Oh, he was Googling us. He was trying to send them the link. He's like, I'm live on this stream right now. Come on.
Bro, you gotta check this out.
We're going to have the whole team of the Oklahoma stand-up show with Sal come on chat right now.
That would actually... Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I'd handle that very well. Abby, I'm trying so hard to be chill and cool right now, and it's hard. It's very difficult. You gotta understand. I don't have many opportunities to talk to cool people. Like my mom, if I told her, she'd be like, "What are you doing right now?" And I'd be like, I'm talking to cool people." And she'll be like, "No, you're not. You're just home playing video games."
He checked, he messaged us. He was like, you can't hear, right? And I'm like, no, but I'm like, what the heck is he saying right now that he's so worried that we can't hear? Wait, let's zoom in on him right now. Tough producing life. Let's
We're
read
just
his
audio
lips.
dubbing for him.
I don't know anything. He said I don't know anything about anything. You know, if you check the check, there's mornings.
I think what he's saying is you should subscribe to this channel and give Abby and Mari lots of money because we're just like that cricket guy. Wait, what was his name again? What was that person's name? Brack. Yeah.
Brack.
Bark.
Oh,
We're just like him. We're broke. We're broke. Please give us your money too. Dude, Abby, what if we had him up on here too?
Whoa, we should invite him on here. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll talk about it later so we won't put pressure on him.
That would be really cool actually. Oh wait a minute. That would be really cool. But yeah. So make sure you support the channel if you like this kind of content. Especially since this is kind of a 180, you know? Like, I'm actually kind of excited because there's not that many opportunities that we get to talk about comedy here on really, like, anything in the VTuber realm, at least, and let alone, like, the content creation sphere. Like, I always hear people talk about how important it is to be funny and to make jokes and, like, to have this comedic sense of humor, but like I said earlier, sometimes it's like what you find funny isn't always what everyone else finds to be funny. Like, Abby, I'm sure you've had many times where you've tried making jokes and it just doesn't land well at all.
One thing we can talk to Jay about as well, because he did social media as well as live. When I was reaching out to Jay about this, talking to him about that like, I feel like I can't, like, when I do stand-up or when I do improv, I have a mastery of the room. Like, I can work the room. I never tank that bad. Like, one of the producers of my main stand-up show says, like, that I'm the one who consistently will never tank. Like, even if I'm not the fan favorite, it'll never be horrible because I'm able to, like, play with the room and do crowd work and kind of... So I feel pretty comfortable on the stage. But streaming, I feel way, way less comfortable because a lot of times people just go like, oh, Abby is cringe. Oh, I do, like, an anime girl parody and people are like, oh, that's who you are. Or, like, I'm more sarcastic and people are like, oh, you're unpleasant. Anime girls should be lighthearted. Like, there's so many more expectations and I feel like in judgment. Because when you go out to see some theater, you want to enjoy it. Like, you're like, I paid money for this. Like, I want to see good stand-up. I want to see good improv. Like, you might criticize it, but overall, like, you're biased to try to have a good time. But I feel like sometimes in the internet, like, you want to find a cringe clip to send to your friends. Or you want to, like, be mean to someone to make yourself feel better. So I feel like why we go to a show versus why we consume social media is so distinct that it's really hard for someone, like, whether you're a singer or a comedian or a dancer, to, like, do both, because what works in a theater does not necessarily work online.
And so that's interesting because it's like, while I do agree that there is this like expectations when it comes to an anime girl, on the same hand of that, I am from YouTube. I have consumed many different genres of YouTube content, and something that I've kind of looked at in particular was commentary. I truly do believe that, yes, it is very common for most anime girls to be this pleasant, happy, bubbly, or whatever, but I also believe that there is a good side to either comedy as well as commentary, because commentary does so well on YouTube, and a lot of the commentary channels are faceless. Like, they don't show their face at all. They have maybe like an avatar to represent themselves occasionally, and maybe they'll show that on screen, but I do feel like there is a lot of like untapped market for VTubing. And I feel like, you know, having Jay on here today, whenever he gets back from his call for us to like continue talking, I feel like there is this untapped market for comedy, because here's the thing, Abby, I'm sure we've sat here and watched anime that is complete satire and parody. Like, there is definitely anime out there that is just completely just unhinged, over the top, and like just silly. Perfect example, Mob Psycho is very over the top with like its jokes, and it's super like
super funny,
satirical.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think anime has great comedy, actually. Sometimes I feel like anime is closer to what you call like improv and stand-up than a lot of like Netflix shows.
Yeah.
So I think Jay might be back.
Hello?
Are you back, Jay?
I'm back. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Business call.
It's okay. Don't
You're
worry.
okay.
Are you okay with us having memed around and try to guess what you were saying on the call?
Oh, I realized that I was on. No, I don't think I said anything.
Oh, we were just mouthing. We were like, I don't
I'm
speak
trying to think
English.
I'm like, if people are reading lips, but it was a lot of me saying, all right, yeah, sure, cool.
We were just dubbing you and making funny stuff, so you're okay.
Oh, what'd you think I was saying?
You said, I don't know anything about anything. Yep, okay. Sure.
I said, dude, check out these anime girls up on the screen, man. Like, look. You're not gonna believe this.
Oh, you also sent them
should
the
take
link to our channel so people could watch our stream. I'm assuming they're currently watching our video or stream?
Who? The person who called me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Dang, okay, alright, fine. Alright, fine. Why don't you...
I don't think Sal Volcano is watching your stream right now. So.
Whoa! You think Sal's too good for me? I'll beat him up!
Sal, I'm so sorry.
I'll beat up
making
Sal!
videos I'm trying to make videos this month of what I'm doing with my days.
Oh.
So I'm gonna make one now.
Oh, cute.
I'm doing an interview with
Abby and Mari.
No.
Abby
and Mari. They can't hear you.
Jay's a baka.
I also have Ben. They don't know what Ben Gay is. Wait, I'm gonna do that again.
Oh God! Behind the scenes of social media.
But it needs to be candid.
Oh, go.
And I also want to make sure, because then I'm like, what else on my screen is showing?
The porn.
Well.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Abby!
Wait, what? Porn stands for psychotic, omniscient, never
Jay, I got a
don't know if
question
I
for you
saw
real
that.
quick.
Wait, what? What did she say?
Jay, why does it look like there's nothing in your room? Like, are you like
Where
in a
do you
studio?
live?
Like, well, don't tell me where you live, but like, you have nothing in your background, which made me think like, dude, did he just like?
Did you rent
Is
out
he
a
just-
room to film this? So we wouldn't recognize, like, see your
Oh my-
posters?
How do
I mean, you
I
look
wanna...
like some random guy we picked up on the street. Now,
We
like,
threw
I
it into
mean,
like a PC bong room, like an internet cafe.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna keep making fun of you. It's gonna make me look bad if certain people are watching this stream. I'm sorry.
I want to try and change so everyone could hear you guys laughing at me.
I'll send you the clip.
Oh,
for
but I don't know
Trey.
how to do it. Oh my gosh.
We can send you the
I don't
clip
know
of
how
it
to do
after.
I'm
I don't get it. I don't get
I'm
it.
doing an interview with two VTubers. They're like 20 years old and they're all laughing. They just keep laughing at me. And that you can't hear them, but they're
Oh
laughing
God,
at
I
me
wish
in
I
my
was 20
ears.
years old.
They're like, why does your apartment look like that? Do you live alone? They also don't know what Ben Gay is. Also, why am I putting Ben Gay on in the middle of an interview? They're laughing. They're laughing. I mean, this is... All right.
He's telling the
good.
vlog that we're laughing, so the people watching the vlog know that his joke landed. That's why he's saying that, because he's scared of being made fun of. He's saying that.
No. I didn't think... No, you're not laughing at me like, oh my God, he's so funny. It's clear like you're making fun of me. Oh, I'm going to put a thing on this that says mental...
Shoe horse.
Mental health.
Horseshoe.
Wait, let's...
Jay, out of context, all I see is just the cream and just you tapping your neck.
Wait, do you want to zoom in again?
Is this-
So it's closer to the
It
camera.
says Mental Health Awareness Month. All right.
Honestly, that's pretty base. You know, for someone who says they're that like technologically inept, you seem to have a pretty good grasp on it, which, you know, leads me to this question, like how all your other jobs, from what I got so far, you have done restaurant, you're a restaurant boy, food boy, then
I think the exact title is Restaurant Boy. Yes.
restaurant boy, okay. Then you did comedian, so you did joke boy.
Comedian boy. Hee hee ha ha boy.
I was comedian boy for a very short time. I did not enjoy it because I only did bringer shows. So
You're
had
still
to
a comedian boy.
What's a bringer
you had
show?
to you have to bring people in order to perform. So
Oh
I
no,
did-
it's just like streaming. We gotta bring people to watch this.
Oh my god, yeah.
yeah, I had to bring 3 people. Tickets were about $15 each, and you had to buy 2 drinks. So it was probably like a $40, $50 night. And back in the 90s, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, bringer shows still suck.
No, they
Okay.
still suck. I didn't know that. But
then you
after that,
stream.
I was in a band. This is my band, Monty Love.
Oh wow.
You were in a band?
Yes.
Could you sing
was
a little
called-
for us?
And
right now?
then I started doing my my talk show, which I did live. Yeah, and then I started doing it on public access. And then when I started doing the talk show, that's when I met Sal Volcano from Impractical Jokers and asked him if he wanted to be part of my show because I knew he did comedy as well. So he was a part of my show and would do stuff on all my shows. And then
That's
when his show blew up, he asked me to be a part of his show.
That's so cool. So, okay. So you are wow, you've had many cards. You've dealt in your hand, so to say, which is very fascinating
Oh,
because
Yes.
How-
I also love poker and I'm a gambling addict. So yes, many cards have
Oh,
been dealt.
God.
I mean,
You gamble
Pick
in
another
VR,
number.
no? Do you actually gamble money?
what do you mean?
Do you actually gamble money ever? Or do you just gamble online tokens?
Where in life? Ever in life?
On a regular basis.
No, I haven't done anything in a year. I'm a year sober.
Oh, yay!
So that's good. Pick another number let's do 1 through 5 now. I only have
1.
3 jackets left. 1. Oh, this is my newest jacket. Oh, and my weirdest, not the weirdest hat, but it's a weird hat. My apartment's gonna be such a mess. What was the question?
How do you think your other jobs like streaming, producing have helped you as a comedian?
Oh, nothing is nothing has helped me. Look at me. When it's like, oh, you've done so many things, and it's like,
He's got his Bengay
well,
cream. He gambled. I don't know.
that's what exactly. It's like, well, where are you now? It's like, what am I doing?
You're
it's,
talking to two
when-
anime girls. What do you mean? What are you doing?
You're successful as heck.
Yeah.
I'm not successful as heck. Look at you guys making fun of my apartment.
Yeah, but
Oh.
because you're so successful, we want to take you down a notch. Take you down a peg.
I am not successful at all. I'm quite the opposite. This
people
is a
ever
hat
come
that
up
I
to you?
bought in. At one point, they did. Not anymore.
No. Like,
I've
do they
lost-
ever come up to you and be like, "Hey, are you like?" Well, because we think you're successful. Do other people like ask you like, "Oh, aren't you like this super cool?" Like, do people recognize you?
There was a time where people every once in a while would, but not anymore. I think I have definitely purposely pushed away any fans or fan base that I had,
Okay.
and so
Um,
I'm here now. This is a hat that I bought in Nebraska when I was traveling cross country, and I bought it because every time that I would be in all those middle America countries, I had like my nails painted and like. I think I'm not gay, but I think I feel gay because my family makes me feel gay. So I was just like in Nebraska, like getting gas, and I was like, everyone here thinks I'm gay, which is not bad, but I feel like being gay in Nebraska is bad. Like anytime I went to a rest stop, I was like, are people gonna beat me up? So I was like, let me buy like a hat that will make me fit in. So I bought this hat.
That hat has very interesting lore. Can we get some Nebraska chatters in chat to confirm? Like, is this like... That is such an interesting... Well, no, you are older, so I guess that kind of makes sense if you think about how times have changed over the years. But that's fascinating that that was your conclusion to buy this hat.
Yeah, I
Very
mean, I'm sure it's
interesting.
probably a little bit like, I don't know, racist towards Midwesterners, but have you ever been in a truck stop in the middle of Nebraska? There's not a lot of guys there with their nails painted. And that
enough.
bathroom it's one of the scariest places you'll ever go.
yeah, there's
Fair
blood.
enough.
I've been to a gas station bathroom and there was blood in there.
Yeah. I got this. I was like, hey guys, I like birds too.
I like Thanksgiving as well. I'm thankful that you're not beating me up right now.
Yeah. I was like, what up, trucker? Quack, quack, right?
Oh,
Wow, okay.
do you have a story
This
about
is a
Keith
Keith-
Haring? Yeah, that's fancy.
This is a Keith Haring jacket. Look.
Oh my gosh, I love Keith Haring. Why?
That's great. Okay, what was the question?
Okay, our question
I'm sorry
was...
if I'm not.
Oh, it's okay. Do you think other jobs like streaming and producing have helped you as a comedian? And I know when we asked you this, you immediately touched upon like feeling like a failure. And if you also want to like get into that, because I think from an outside perspective, you've had multiple different really fun and successful jobs. You've been both successful as a writer, as a producer, as a streamer. Like you've done a lot of things, and kind of when the timing didn't feel right, you're like, I'm switching on to the next. But it seems like in your point of view, nothing led to anything. So like, could you speak to that?
A lot of it is when I get to a point where I feel like momentum is happening, I will stop that momentum. So I have self-sabotaged myself throughout everything I've done. So every story that I have always has that, oh, I did this thing, it had a lot of potential, and then it's like, well, what happened? And then it's like, oh, I just stopped doing it. So
That's so interesting. I hear that story a lot, actually. I hear, like, not just you in particular, but a lot of creators talk about how, like, yeah, everything's going really good, and then I just stopped. And I'm wondering if, like, I wonder if that's just a common thing to some of the most, like, very talented or, like, successful people. Is, like, maybe we just self-sabotage. I find that fascinating.
yeah, I mean, I don't exactly know why. I think the easiest way to think of it is that there's a comfort in sadness. There's a comfort in addiction, even though addiction, is how bad it is and how awful you feel, but it's also where you want to be all the time because it's where you're at your most comfortable. So the idea of things going well is almost like uncharted. So I don't know what that's going to be like. So you almost want to go back to your comfort spot, which is being miserable. So it's like stopping it before you're able to see what this other life would be like.
That's so interesting. Okay, well,
Do you think?
I get.
Go on.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no.
No, your questions can be better than mine.
No, oh, well, I was just gonna say, like, if you were to like go back in time, and for any given endeavor, like mid evenings or streaming or producing, like any specific one thing, like, do you think you would have done something differently?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I could go back to when I was in my band. We had a pretty big following within our local scene, but I felt like anytime someone was like, "We love your band," I would be like, "Well, you don't know anything about music. Like, we're not good." But I wish I kind of believed that and was able to push that. Even with my show, I mean, mid evenings, when I look at the things that I've done now, I was doing a show in a theater and selling out a theater with 200 people, which is something that I would kill for that. And I think anyone would kill for that. But back then I was just like, this is all stupid and none of this is good and it doesn't matter, you know?
Were
And
you
then
like a big
looking at it
numbers
now-
person? Like, did you care about the
What?
numbers a lot? Like, because you
No,
said 200 people. That's a lot of people. And I feel like,
It's
you
a
know,
lot of people. I remember, I think I was talking with Abby about this, where she was like, how many people were watching you on a stream? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, it was like 100, 200 people. Like, it wasn't a lot. And she was like, that's a lot. And I was like, oh, I didn't think so. But I guess it was.
That's so interesting. Do you think there's like a difference between like when it's like a streaming number versus if you had a whole venue just booked out? Because you can see those 200 to 100 people.
I don't know. I don't think it makes a difference. I think, you know, I've done shows to a lot of people, and I think it's really how I feel at the end of it. You know, if I do a show and it goes really well, but I didn't like it, then it doesn't matter. Like, then I didn't like it. You know, or if I do a show and nobody's there, but it goes great, I'm like, that was a great show. Like,
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So, it sounds like you're describing something that feels like an ideal circumstance for a lot of creators, which is like, you're focusing on making yourself happy over other people, which seems like a very, very healthy thing to do. So, with that considered, like, why do you think maybe, like, it seems like you weren't looking for external validation, you were looking for internal validation, but the internal validation was never there, rarely there, no matter how well you did. So, do you have any, like, looking back, do you have any insights for other people who might be struggling with that, or honestly, any tips on how to even take that first step to, like, disregard the external validation?
yeah, I mean, we all want external validation. We all want people to like our stuff, whether we admit it or not. Like, it's just human nature. We want people to like us. But focusing on, you know, that was the thing that changed with work. I was like, I'm not going to try and like impress my boss anymore or care if my boss is happy with my work. It's like, at the end of the day, I want to be like, oh, I did a great job today, and not care if anyone else agrees or not. And I think I was able to get there. I think it just takes work. It just takes like changing your mindset, and because it's really hard to perform for an audience and they're not responding well to you, and be able to walk off stage and just be like, oh, that was good. But
Yeah,
that's
that is
that's
hard,
what
actually.
that's what performing a lot does. You have to perform a lot, and just get that thick skin and perform for some of the worst people in the worst places, so that you're like, oh, I could go up anywhere. And that fear of failing isn't that big a deal because you failed so many times before.
You're right. I think a lot of people, especially anyone who wants to either become a comedian or a content creator or make a band, whatever it is, a lot of us will have like one bad interaction. Doesn't matter about all the positive interactions that we got. We have one bad interaction and it literally like makes us crumble. And I feel like this whole concept of like, hey, you just got to keep failing. You just have to keep failing and screwing up, and that's how you end up getting better. And like I guess because it's easier said than done. That is easier said than done. And
Oh,
you know,
okay.
I was just gonna say like, what finally clicked in your head to like want to be able to say something like that? Like, what piece of advice has helped you the most during like your comedy journey or your band or whatever journey that you have pursued to want to be able to say something like that? Because to someone like maybe me and Abby or anyone else watching this, like we know we have to get thick skin, but it is hard. And like, what clicked for you finally? Did someone give you that advice, or did you just keep messing up so much that eventually you're like, honestly, it's whatever?
No, it was that. I mean, I I worked in a school. I was a teacher, and I was doing my show, and then Sal's show started to blow up, and that's when it wasn't the first time, but I think it was the first major time that I'd quit gambling, and was able, and like put in the work. The thing with mental health is, a lot of people say you got to put in the work, but you got to put in the work. There's things that you need to do every day. There's things that I need to do every day, whether it's talk to someone, like be social even a little bit, leaving the house, eating healthy food, exercising, like all simple things, all basic things that we know. But when I'm in my comfort place, which is my bottom, I'm not doing any of those things. I'm not talking to anyone. I don't leave the house. I'm eating Taco Bell. Like, that's my life. And I know those things are super unhealthy for me. So the work is like, oh, I need to do all these things. So there was a time where I did all of those things and really got to such a good place mentally. So much so that I was able to ask Sal, be like, hey, I want to submit a packet for the show, and I think I could be a part of this, and did it. And it was like, for all those guys who didn't know me, were easily like, oh yeah, definitely bring him on. And did really, again, built myself through all those years of just work and getting better, and then being social. I was so social during those years, which I'd never been before. And then when I left that job, it was like it all went away, and I like had to start over again. And that was 7 years ago. Yeah, 7 years ago. And I'm still picking myself up from a lot of that stuff, because after that I had a lot of jobs that weren't good. I did stand-up shows that went really bad. I went back to Jokers and didn't enjoy that. I went to Utah and worked on a comedy show. That was not great. I came back here, worked on another show where my boss told me that I should kill myself. I was like, this isn't good.
What the heck? What kind of boss would say something like that? Like, bro, okay, I'm sorry, but anyone who ever would say that clearly has such a high of enough ego that they don't understand the real realm of reality of what it's like to actually try to get better. Like, your boss fucking sucks and he can go fuck himself. So, and that's from an anime girl. She or whatever. No. Like, that's so rude to say.
Oh no, she's a terrible person.
Very much.
And then when
drop the name and cancel her right now.
Jeez, old boss, you're fucking terrible and we hate you. Quoted by an anime girl.
And even worse was then I couldn't do it because I couldn't let her win. So now I had to keep going.
Good.
That's the kind of stuff I feel like you would do in stand-up, and you're like, is that risky? And it landed really well with me right now. So I just want
I'll admit that's one of my stand-up jokes.
My God. So
the stand-up joke is that bit goes, my boss told me that I should kill myself, and I was like, have you been reading my diary? Give me another number.
2.
Yes.
This
By the way,
I went to a party last year, and a coworker of mine. This was like one of my first like social gatherings with my coworkers, and it was a pool party. And she wanted me to drive her home, and I was like, I already have a full car. And she was like, okay. And then she took my hat and she threw it in the pool.
Is that the hat?
This is the hat.
Wait, can you zoom it in more into the camera so we can like see the details of it?
Oh, I keep looking at the wrong camera.
Oh.
This is my friend Jiggy. He opens for the Jokers. He also does this really fun weekend called he does like a streaming show called Taste Funny, where he cooks on camera, and he now has this entire curated weekend that I'm a part of. So the first weekend of July, I'll be there, and it's with. Last year, I got to sing a dance to "Bye Bye Bye" while Joey Fatone sang. That's an NSYNC thing. I thought it would be cool, but then I'm like, they weren't alive.
Jay, you can't just be dropping off like these like amazing like bits of nuggets of like events that you do and be like it's not you got Abby, it's not fair. I feel like he's bullying me this episode.
Can you invite Mari
What does
to
that
come to
mean?
one of your she wants to go to one of your shows someday, Jay. Could you invite Mari right now?
Why would I be bullying?
She
No,
thinks you're
you're
bragging
going.
about how awesome your life is.
It is so funny when
it's not
people
even bragging. I'm just-
people say that to me. Does any of this sound like I'm bragging?
No,
I am
not bragging.
miserable. I am.
I know for no reason, Jay.
No, that's what I mean. I'm like, I don't think it's bragging at all. I'm like, you know, you're sitting here talking about how you want to die, and I'm like, wow, you're so cool. like, you have to something that it's weird, right?
Ultimately,
it's weird.
Ultimately, that is the thing. There is, I am unable to make a connection with my true self because I don't really think I have a true self. Like I don't really know who I am still. It's always, it's a lot of characters that I'm always playing. So who I truly am, I still don't know. So in order to connect with that person, there is not a connection to that person because it's a character that I'm playing. So I never truly am able to feel these things because it doesn't feel like it's really me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, we're anime girls, so yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, go on, Mari.
I was just gonna say, like, regardless of the starstruck or how I may feel or not, I still see.
Can I eat a cookie?
Yes, eat your cookie while I talk. I don't know why I wanted to call you dish boy. You don't work at you don't clean dishes. I don't know why I wanted to
I
call
bet you do. I bet you do your own dishes, dish boy. I bet you clean your kitchen.
I'm restaurant boy.
Restaurant boy, yeah. It's interesting, right? Because there is this like we have like ourselves that are our real selves, and then we have the self that we like present to other people, but then we have like another layer of that self where it's like it's a person who we want to be. Even if, because that person who we want to be is not necessarily the person that we act around when we're with other people. That might not make a whole lot of sense, but like we have this version of ourselves that we want to be, but we never will ever be that version because that's not how people see us. That's not how we actually are.
Yeah.
But we idealize this like aspect of ourselves.
And that's why the people that you become friends with, like, I know I'm assuming girls are like young, right? 20s at least. Or I don't know if you're allowed to say that. I'm just assuming.
I forgot.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's
regardless.
Well, this is another thing. Am I talking to you as people, or am I talking to you as these? Yeah. Am I talking to characters?
Well, see, that's all right. Listen here,
cut the
restaurant boy.
No. Like now, I'm trying to understand, like, because you're kind of like a cat. Am I talking? Should I be talking to you as a cat, or are you as a? Does that make
I am a
sense?
professional anime woman. That is all you need to know. I'm not cat. I'm only part cat. Abby, he's bullying me.
This
He's
is not
making fun of
bullying.
me.
I mean, I think
I'm not. I'm really. I just don't know if
I think they
because
have
now I want to know. Like, do you use like a litter box? I don't know. Like, what
Oh, God,
are real questions?
How does he
for
know
She
you?
does
that?
actually.
How
She
does he
actually
know
has a
about
litter
that?
box under her desk. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have
Okay.
to go, Mari?
I want to show you.
The litter box?
Do you need to go under the desk right now? I can mute the mic.
No, this
Ah!
is my cat.
Oh
Um,
my god!
He was the best boy. Do you want to see him?
Yes? Speaking of cats, my cat is literally right behind me right now. He's just laying on me.
Your child, you mean? Because you're a cat.
My baby boy.
Aww.
Here he is.
Aww.
Yeah,
What was his name?
He's in here. His name was Pepino. We called him Peppy for short. He was my
Peppy?
best friend.
Oh, what a good boy. That's
hanging
actually
He was the
really
best
sweet.
boy.
You keep him
He was
so
the best
close.
boy,
That's,
yeah.
I feel for that. That's how I feel about like my dog Momo. She had unfortunately passed away last year. She was like only 4 years old, which is a very young
Oh.
age for a dog. But like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
keep her by like my bedside all the time, and like I have this so you can buy these like stuffed animal things where they will literally recreate one-on-one of like what your animal is like, and you have to take like all these different photos so that way they can like get
Oh,
the different
right.
angles. And yeah, it literally it looks like her, and so I have like that little stuffed animal like by my bed and stuff. So like I totally understand. Like people always knock on animals, where they're like, oh, like they're just an animal, but like some of these animals, like they're like our family. They're like our best friends, you know? And people always like
Mhm.
dog on that stuff, and I'm like, I love my fur
Well,
babies.
to go back to what I was saying before, I mean, my cat, I feel, is the only person who has ever like loved me unconditionally with like no judgments. I mean, I'm sure he had judgments, but he couldn't express them. But your true friends, like being when you're in your early years, you have so many friends. And then as you get older, you realize you're keeping a lot of people because you feel like you owe it to them to be friends because you've known them for so long. But you don't really have to be friends with anyone. The people you end up being friends with, the reason why it becomes such a small group of people, it's the people that you feel completely comfortable around, where you're like, oh, I don't have to put on this act or this character or care about what I say. I mean, the people I'm most comfortable around, they know like I'm such a curmudgeon and I'm like, I hate everything and all I want to do is complain about everything. You know, that is not something people want to be around. And I get that. But the few friends I have who are like, they realize that I'm not really complaining like because I don't like it. I'm complaining because that's what I like to do.
It's funny to do it.
It's
feel
funny to do.
I feel like oh, God, my brain cells don't. That is very interesting to hear, because I remember like when I would talk to people sometimes, like me personally, they'll be like, why do you like why are you always upset about stuff? I'm like, I'm not upset, I'm just talking. I'm just yapping.
Yeah,
like,
and you just want to yap about stuff. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'll see a girl like wearing a certain kind of sneakers and I'll be like, I hate that girl so much. Like those are the worst shoes I've ever seen, and I don't think she should really be allowed to like leave the house. But I don't really mean that. Like
Yes, oh my
I'm
gosh.
sure she's fine with those shoes. It's just the thing that I mean, I am bothered by it, but
You are bothered,
You know-
and you do think she's worthless for it, but like it's not that deep. No, but I
not
get that.
worthless
Okay. No, I get
because she can change, okay? and this is going out to anyone who wears Air Force Ones and you've been wearing them for like 2 years and they're filthy and disgusting.
Mari?
I'm sorry.
Mari?
I'm sorry if I'm bullying you, Mari, but
I don't even wear those kind of shoes. You think I
What
have
are
money
we
to
doing?
afford that?
I don't know.
Why do you have the Ben Gay cream? Why do you have Ben Gay cream on? What? Okay. All right. First of all.
Does that feel good? Does that feel good, Jay?
Gotta
Rubbing
gay
it
up
real
my
good
neck.
onto your skin. You said your
Oh my
content
God,
streaming wise was not lewd, but it looks like it is, Jay.
Oh my god, my neck wants to be near another man.
Named
What?
Ben.
Named Ben, yeah. But Jay,
Have you ever heard of Icy Hot?
I'm obsessed with Icy Hot. I'm addicted to Icy Hot.
Is that real?
Yes.
Do you know where Icy Hot came from?
Ben Gay?
Hello?
Yeah, but Icy Hot is like the newer, trendier son.
Icy Hot were probably like, hey, let's make something that doesn't have the word gay in it. And they were
I
like,
think that's
oh.
what it was. Yeah.
must be it.
Genuinely.
They were like, we could really kill the market just by making the same thing, but
Here's the thing for viewers who might not be aware of what is going on right now. Part of being comedy, at least from my understanding, because I'm not a comedian like these two are, a lot of these jokes can be dark and satirical. So just for the audience's sake, I would like to clarify that a lot of this is banter. This is because I think there could be some people who are very confused on what the hell's going on. Like some people, or like I said earlier, some people don't understand what the joke is or like where the joke is and how to convey that this is the joke.
Yeah,
I don't know which one is I don't even know what the joke was. Oh, I guess you're saying that it's all a joke, and I'm saying it's none of it.
the thing of VTubing culture comes from idol
I mean,
culture. So
it's a real thing. Ben Gay is real.
Right.
It has nothing to do with.
But because like a lot of people here watch VTubers, and that's something I've been struggling with my content too, is like you have this high filter, kind of like you're a princess or a prince. So you don't make the joke about haha there's gay in the name, even though like your feelings toward like are not negative, but like you're like I won't avoid saying anything, like you don't talk about like even farting or whatever. It's like, oh my gosh, you're so crash and childish if you do, even though most people do that. Like there's like kind of a level of demure that people sometimes expect from VTubing content that is like, it's just different culture wise. It's kind of like if you watch a K-pop idol, you don't want to see her be funny. If you watch a comedian, you oftentimes don't want to see them be vulnerable, even though they are.
Shit.
So it's kind of
Which, by the way, you being vulnerable is
no,
vulnerable
but you're
is
being
not
vulnerable. It's not a bad thing, but you know what I mean. Like if you go up on stage and you're too honest, like you were talking about that level, it throws people off in a comedy show. It's the same way with idol culture. Like if you're too memey or you're too honestly earnest, it throws people off. Like there's a bit of a level of posture that you put on. Which is, we can talk about the VTubing culture later on. We'll take you on your training arc to be a VTuber. But that's why she's clarifying, just because some people watch comedians and watch VTubers. Some people just watch VTubers. Some people watch VTubers. So there are people from all walks of life watching this. But we're just lampshading.
Hi everyone.
Oh God.
I like Vulnerable Jay. Vulnerable Jay's fun. He puts on Ben Gay cream. He talks about how his boss wants him to die. Like, I like this guy.
But he does have a layer of comedy on top of it. Jay's still being funny here.
And that's what I mean. But that's what I mean. That right there. So something that took me a long time to understand about comedians is that you guys have like this interesting layer of like dark humor where it's like your jokes come from these like, what the hell was that duck on the screen? What was that just now?
He's trying to show to the truckers that he's not gonna try to get some.
I was just gonna say, I never understood like where comedians get their jokes from. Like, what makes things so funny in a conversation? Like, how do you banter with people? How do you know like if there's a joke? And it's so dark. And
that's
like
our
he's
next
talking
question.
about. Oh yeah, it is. How do you come up with this joke from your boss telling you to go die? Because you said that's part of your comedian bit. How do people like take that? Like, what makes us so funny? That's what I was trying to say. I suck at this. I'm not a comedian, you guys.
No, you're great. You're so great, honey. Oh my gosh. No, sorry, honey. Sorry, no, Mari. I'm sorry. I'm talking about my other girlfriend. Jay, talk.
Abby's bullying me. Jay, protect me.
I wasn't even trying to bully you. I
cream.
literally just cheated on you live on stream. Go on, Jay.
What? I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
What do you think it takes to banter with people, and like what and like how are you able to pull off like dark humor? So like truth is comedy, but like how do you find that balance of you're joking about very dark things that are true, but how do you twist them just enough? Like if people are here trying to be funny, like do you have any tips on how to like twist your own trauma or your own insights in a funny way that really makes a dark topic light?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it, especially with dark the comedy, sometimes just saying the darkest thing or the thing that is on your mind uh, um, is like funny enough because you're saying something that people just never say. Um, and so like, but again, with dark comedy, there is that line of you have to be very careful with that. I think it's hard for me to say how to do it because the way my brain thinks is everything is a setup for a joke. Like every
Really?
conversation, every moment, everything that you're doing is always like, how do I make this into
Yeah.
a joke?
It's a little miserable, though, isn't it?
Really?
Which is why I think for me in social conversations, the conversations that I enjoy having the most are the really serious ones. Like I don't want to do bits on bits on bits because I think it's exhausting. I mostly do bits when it's like, oh, I don't really want to talk to you. So it's like bing, 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 bing. But, you know, my conversations are like, oh, what's the saddest thing that's happened to you? Do you know what I mean? If
Oh my
someone's like, oh, I
God.
had a brother who died, I'm like, I want to talk about that. Because that, you know, when you're talking about good things in life, you could exaggerate everything. When you talk about sadness, it's hard to really exaggerate sadness. That always comes from like a real place. So I feel when people are talking about like trauma and sadness, like they're being genuine about it. And then you're like, oh, we're having like a real genuine conversation. And that's kind of what I like.
So
This reminds me of that time someone went up to me at a party and was like, "What's your trauma?" And I was like, "That's how you're gonna break the ice? Really?"
that was Jay.
Maybe that was
I don't
Jay.
use that as an
Jay, have I
icebreaker.
met you at a party
But-
before?
But Jay, like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm a little confused.
I have to be real, by the way. But go ahead.
And I feel like I relate to this, but I would like to just like clarify. Like you said that your mind works and it's looking for bits on bits on bits. Like kind of the way your mind works is how your mind works is like everything is a setup to a punchline. So when you're talking to people, your mind automatically goes to like, how do I make this funny? How do I banter? Which makes sense. But at the same time, what you crave is conversations that are honest. But at the same time, your stand-up involves a lot of those honesty elements in it. But you claim that when you claim it's like I'm judging you right now. You're saying that you when you talk about these serious topics, you don't want to do bits on bits on bits. But when you do stand-up, you are both doing kind of bits on bits and being honest. Like when you say like, oh, she told me she wanted me to die. Did she read my notebook? Now I can't do it anymore because that'll prove her right. So like you are saying things that are probably true, and you are curating it in a way that it's not just funny because it's true. You also understand, you know, the timing and everything of how to deliver that. So how do you balance the fact that you love having honest conversations? You often your mind thinks of bits. You don't like doing these things together, except for when you do stand-up or write comedy. Like, how does that work? I'm curious.
Well, my favorite thing to do and my favorite thing in comedy is building tension and then releasing that tension. So going into those serious moments I also like going into moments of silence and kind of taking the audience on a place where, oh, this is really uncomfortable. I don't like this. And then releasing that tension with a joke, and that tension comes out in such a big laugh because you're like, oh, thank God. Like that's over, or that wasn't real, or like, you know, when someone's telling you, you know, sadness, and then releases that with a joke that's like, oh, you're allowed to laugh at this. And that release is so great. So that's always been my favorite thing to do, is that awkwardness or that kind of reality sadness. I don't remember what the question was.
The question doesn't matter. I think he'd make a great VTuber, Abby. Honestly, like he's setting all the bars. I'm not gonna lie. I think he'd be great at this.
Someone
I
like
got
does
bars.
comedy and like does I was saying it like earlier when you were on the call, Jay. It feels like it's pretty distinct because I think comedy online is very meme based. So it's the idea of there's a lot of repetition of jokes, and you create memes within your community. Like I have my staff, I have a wand which is called Guzalo, which is behind Mari right now. Like it's a lot about
Guchan.
yeah. Well, don't call him Guchan. but like it's a lot about repetition, like basically curating memes. And it feels like a lot of it's hard like for heightened humor to land on social media because you're not seeing the real person behind it. So like when you do a heightened bit in a stand-up, like you're kind of still seeing a person. There will be moments of vulnerability to balance it out. But when you just see like an isolated heightened bit, it does not land online as well. A lot of people, it's hard to have earnestness too because regardless of whether you're a VTuber or not, like whenever you're in front of an audience, there is an element of performativity that I think some comedians are able to strip, but no other form of performance is usually successful at stripping that performativity. So like, what was even my question? Oh right, okay. So regarding VTubing, like, since as someone who did like streaming and also does comedy, I guess personally I want to figure out how the heck do I be as funny on stream as I am on a stage? How do I match that? And do you have any tips on like your streaming versus your comedy work? Like how were you able to translate your comedy to streaming versus stand-up versus improv versus writing versus like a band? Like how are you able to convert your skills so they're successful in every medium?
Well, I don't think I'm able to. I think streaming was good for me because I think in person, I am funny, and I think I can be very engaging with my stories because I'm very open and vulnerable, and I think when people were hearing that, it was like, oh, this is kind of different. And then having jokes within that. I've always had a hard time transferring that to stand-up because, you know, stand-up has to have more joke. It can't be, you know, talk, here's a joke. More, here's a joke. So, and I still don't have my voice as a comedian. I still don't go up there and know what I'm still not comfortable doing it or what point of view I'm coming from. Whereas when I'm streaming, I know my point of view. I know that character, but it doesn't translate on a stand-up stage. So there's just the thing of being yourself. That's really, I know it's so like corny and cliche, but that's where you're gonna be most comfortable. You know, that's the character you're gonna be most comfortable in. And streaming and talking and doing stuff like, yeah.
Like what we're doing right now?
Like we're doing right now. But a thing that happened with being so open and vulnerable is people did find connections with me, and any fan that messaged me, I would talk to any fan because I thought that was cool. But it became a lot because then they would open up to me, and that all became very heavy with dealing with fans and the problems that they were having and that became a lot. I distanced myself from that because that all became like very heavy and a bit too much. But that's a different thing.
That kind of segues a little bit into one of our final questions, which is like, do you have any tips on how to stop feeling insecure and sad when you fail in comedy or at a artistic ambition you might have? / I wanted to add that just because I think it'd be interesting to see you discuss this, but in terms of next steps for you, you say like you still struggle with figuring out who you are. If you were to be like, you were like, is there anything like you would want to do even now to just like fix many insecurities and sadness about your performance, but I'm sure there's still some lingering ones. Like what do you think you have to do / maybe don't want to do? But you don't have to share that. That might be kind of vulnerable, but I'm just, since you're pretty open.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that I think it's what I was saying before of what I need to do is I need to put in the work, and I've been avoiding that for a very long time. I don't want
Well-
to do any of that work.
Well, wait a minute. You're here talking to us right now, so isn't this kind of like this is like I'm more optimistic, I think, out of the three of us here talking. But
Yes.
you talking to us right now is like the first step to putting in the work. Like you didn't have to say yes to this interview. You don't this is the first time I'm ever meeting you, and like we're having this very like deep conversation about a lot of different topics, and I feel like that is the first step. You've been avoiding it for how long now?
One important step is to say yes. I say yes to almost everything, even if I don't want to do it. I have to force myself to do that. Not this though. I've been waiting to do this.
Yay!
I'm excited.
No, it's okay. You don't. It's okay. I definitely did not put any Ben gay cream to.
No,
behind-
he said, he was like, I'm super excited
Mari,
about Friday.
You're bullying me. You're bullying me.
Wait, Jay said something like, oh, I'm so excited for Friday or something, and I was like, what's happening Friday? So he's excited. Just saying. He's a big
But that's
fan.
what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
This is like the first step, though, to like whatever it is that you want to pursue, right? And I find this interesting because, I feel like there's this mindset you have to have. There is definitely a mindset to have this creative like avenue. You've done so many different things. And regardless if you self-sabotage them or not, like the fact that you have this creative ambition, the fact that you said yes to this interview and like to talk on this like little late night show with us, I feel like it definitely takes like a certain type of mentality when it comes to wanting to be funny or like wanting to pursue content creation in any shape or form, regardless if you're still trying to find your voice and stand up. And I'm curious about this like this mindset where you said you don't know like your true self and you're still trying to discover that. And I'm wondering, during like along this journey, the fact that you say yes to everything, it almost kind of feels like you're still yearning to want to discover this version of yourself, because I do think you have like this mindset that a lot of other creators have. And
100%. I mean, there is, you know, I don't think it's bragging to say that I'm funny. Like, I'm not saying what level I'm funny, but I know that I am, and that's probably the one thing that I'm good at. And I'm not saying that I'm bad at everything, but no, if I had to do one thing today to like survive for the rest of my life, it would be like, oh, being funny. It's the only thing that I know how to do. And so there's just a lot of times where it feels like it's a waste not to do it. So there is a feeling of I have to do this. And so a lot of times when I do stand up, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm really enjoying this, but I'm still forcing myself to do it. And like, I still don't know if I should be doing it.
I like this. I don't think there's anything wrong with bragging. I don't care if you want to be like, yeah, I am like the funniest person in the entire. I actually don't find that to be bothersome. I think it's good to embrace the things that we're good at, especially since like, yeah, you are funny. I've been finding this entire conversation to be very amusing. It's interesting to be able to like, I don't know how else to describe this other than it's interesting to see I guess a grown man like you be so uncomfortable talking to two anime girls, but also very comfortable at the same time. And I need to talk about that duck. All right, what is that duck thing? What is that?
Wait, I do want to say that some tips on being funny. I'll tell you what things that aren't funny is comedy does have to come from almost like a lower class, person. People who are like a higher status.
Oh yeah.
Than you, and this is just perceived status. This has nothing to do with actual where you are in life. Just a higher status person, like that could be like a good-looking person, or a person who is bragging or a person who is just super successful, it's hard to find that person funny because we're already kind of like, But when it's coming from someone who's lower class, a lower status, and you're able to laugh at that person. Why exactly? I'm not sure, but it's a reason why good-looking people have a harder time becoming comedians. But also that thing of, I think I'm very funny. If you start off a stand-up set and be like, hey everyone, I'm so-and-so, I'm very funny. Okay, let's go. No one is gonna laugh at anything that you say.
One thing that I've been observing though with comedy, which I've been dealing with a lot, because I'm gonna be honest, it hurts a little to be perceived as stupid. So like, and at the same time, like, comedians that are confident they do get more laughs. Like, I've seen some terrible stand-up, but the person who just looks so comfortable on stage and like they think they're funny. So there's like a fine balance of like your lower status that they're laughing, but you also have to seem like you believe in yourself a lot, which is so hard.
100%. 100%. If you have a little bit break in that confidence, if you come out and you're super confident, joke, you know, killing, and then you do one joke that goes off the rails, and then like the audience could tell that you're uncomfortable about that, then you're like, oh, you just lost everyone, because now everyone feels bad for you. And it's hard to get them back after that. They don't want to, you know, because the audience is kind of, they don't want to put the work in. They just want to sit there and just listen to your stuff and enjoy it, because the audience is already doing so much mental work. They do mental work like a magic show. You know, you watch a magician and the whole time you're just trying to figure out the trick. People in the audience do that too. They're trying to figure out what the punchline to the joke is, you know, which is why, you know, another, I guess, comedy tip is you set up a joke, you lead the audience to your joke, but then you bring them over here right at the last second.
That's so interesting. Okay.
Oh, but if you're up on stage and and you have this like uncomfortableness, the audience is going to feel that too. And that's why I like to take them on that of like, oh, this is awkward. And now everyone feels it. And they're like, oh, I feel bad for him. Oh, this is weird. I don't like this. And then boom, you bring them over here. Oh, it releases all of that. And we're like, oh, okay, we're good.
So you have like a lot of self-awareness, so because maybe not all of your sets are always awkward and like weird and stuff. It seems like you have to have some kind of self-awareness, which I am not sure if that's just something that people are just born with, or if that's something you can learn. Because I feel like a lot of this stuff takes time. It takes practice to get comfortable with, and like being okay to be awkward. I feel like
it takes time, and it takes doing it. When I perform for audiences who know who I am, it's obviously so much easier because I'm able to like instantly go into this character that I am. The harder thing for me is going to people who don't know me and instantly going into this, because there is a lot of it that's awkward or uncomfortable. And how do you get people within 30 seconds to understand all that? You know, I used to open my sets.
Bengay cream.
Oh, stop it! You're bullying me.
But my question is, like, how do you, if you're giving someone a tip, because I think that also applies for people who are not in comedy, they're just want to be funny people, which is, I'm assuming, everyone, or at least everyone watching this. Like, how do you go about like setting yourself to have a low status but also be confident? Mainly if you like how do you balance those seemingly contradictory things that are 100% necessary for a baseline comedy set to work?
That's a great question, and I don't have an answer for it, because if you're too confident, you're cocky. If you're not confident enough, you know, people feel bad for you. So it really, I don't think there's an answer for that. It's just finding that line. You know, when I started doing comedy, people did not like me because I came off so like cocky. You know, there's a little, I had a disdain for the audience also. So that was
Why?
Well, I think a part of my self-sabotage was to kind of push people away. I kind of liked people disliking me, so
Oh, yeah, I see.
you would also do comedy that is gonna make the audience uncomfortable, but not really in a good way. Like you're making edgy jokes, and then they don't like it, and you're just like, "You guys suck." Kind of like that's what you're saying in your head, you know. But that kind of disdain that I had, I realized that the audience felt that. So I used to start my sets off by going, I would first thing I would say, I'd be like, "So, does anyone here not like me already?" And I would start with that just in case people had it to be like, "Oh, he's aware that people dislike him."
I see.
And then it makes people be like, "Okay, I'll give him a few more seconds."
That's so fascinating. Wow. I think what you just said might cut pretty deep for a lot of content creators out there, especially since a lot of us grew up in early 2000s YouTube where edge humor was the humor, and some of us never really left that era of YouTube where we say mean things not even to be funny but just to be mean because that's just what we're told is funny. And I think like you saying what you just said,
True.
it's a mindset. If you truly are looking down upon your audience, they will feel that regardless of how good you are at hiding and masking that. They will feel that to some, I don't know, subconscious degree is what this is like the takeaway that I'm getting from what you had just said. I feel like in order to be truly funny, you have to have this sense of authenticity almost, even if it is like trauma or sad or, you know, you being kind of a dick. You're like, it's still funny as long as like the person who's thinking about it in their head that's telling that joke truly has some comfortability with themselves while they're performing. I never thought of it that way. That's so fascinating.
Well, look how much we learned today.
I grew one brain cell.
I grew half one. We're halfway there. I believe Jay can get me that final stretch of brain cell.
Wait, do you have another costume change for us?
I mean, I have one more jacket, but it's not a great one. I don't really have anything else that's great. Oh, you want me to just put on my last jacket?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I have?
I've been waiting this whole time for the costume change.
I kind of landed on this last one. You didn't even say anything about the jean jacket.
Wait, that was Jean?
Very 90s. I could tell you were in a band.
I didn't even know we were supposed to comment on his jacket.
I thought he was gonna tell us the story of the jacket. I didn't wanna heckle him and tell him the story of his jacket for him.
Well, I mean, it's fine, I guess. Maybe that's why he's sad. Maybe it's because we didn't ask him about the jacket.
You know what it is? It's because he looked too good in it. And in comedy, you can't look too confident. That's what it was. Jacket was too good of a jacket. Toss it. Throw it away. Burn it. Right now, live on screen. Ow! Ow! Ow!
I just
like cracked my foot. My foot, you crack your bones, and it kind of cracked the wrong way.
Ugh.
Oh, and you
God.
had as well.
Yeah, this hat I bought last year. Warning, name drop alert. I was doing some shows with Joe Gatto of Impractical Jokers and Steve Byrne, who's one of the funniest comedians in the world. And we were in, oh my God, we're in Michigan, this middle of nowhere. And there was this, oh man, what is it called? It was some Dutch place, like Wooden Shoes Diner or something like that. And just huge. It's like just really heavy Midwestern people, and you could tell like the food portions are gigantic, and like instead of toast, you can get a side of cinnamon bun, and the cinnamon bun is just this gigantic thing. And then it was just what do you call that thing? A yard sale, but it's inside.
Estate sale.
People sell like old junk.
Estate?
Like a garage sale?
Yeah, but it's not quite it's like a store though. There's like a name.
Thrift shop?
listening.
Goodwill?
Thrift shop. Yeah, something like that. And I bought this hat, and they both thought it was very strange. They're like, "You're gonna buy a hat from a thrift store?" And I
Oh,
was like, yeah.
thrifting's like a real thing though. Like people love going thrifting. Like actually, I distinctly remember this one thrift store. It's in like Boston where you can like go in and you get a bag and you literally just fill things up with your bag in the thrift store and then
Oh.
they weigh it.
Oh.
And that's the money that you pay. You pay based off of the weight.
I have a store like that here on Fridays for $5. You could put whatever you want in the bag.
Is that Amazon?
It's an Amazon store, yes.
I do think one really cool takeaway I took from, and I'm just labeling it because it's so interesting. It's the idea of like you even preface this joke about name dropping now. Like if you show a level of self-awareness, it kind of shows that you perceive yourself as human. I guess it kind of humanizes you and it takes away that like overconfidence. Because if you're like, even if you're presenting as overly confident, if you're like self-aware of, okay, I'm coming across as overly confident, I'm gonna name drop, or I come across as cringe. And I think there's a very fine way to do it where it's not like, oh, I'm so stupid, I know you're gonna hate this joke, and that a lot of people like Mike's do. But that's a really good tip on how to like make sure your sarcastic humor lands. It's like, I know I'm gonna come across as a dick, but like even that can, you're lampshading, but
there can be an insincerity with that for people where you're like,
true,
this is bad, I know this is bad, but, and you're like, I know you're just saying that to like cushion whatever you're gonna say, where it's like, just do it. That doesn't feel real. I hate when people what's the word? There's a word for it, but preface, when they preface their thing,
And they preface their shade take on Twitter.
But
yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, because you're like, if you think this is bad, why would you then say it?
So
Like,
you
clearly
think
you
you
don't think
should
it's bad.
preface it with like honesty, like, because the way you said it was like you clearly thought it was bragging to bring up like the people that you're doing a show with, but you also wanted to tell the story, so like you didn't want it to stop you from telling the story. So do you think like it's okay to, well, a good way to make a joke or a perception of an audience land is just like being honest, but like
just because Mari had a fucking went into contractions every time that I mentioned someone's name, so I didn't want to.
It's not my fault that these are my idols. Fair, you know how difficult. Okay, first of all, fuck you. Do you know how difficult it is to try to like act cool and like be real right now? Like, do you have to understand?
Is this the horseshoe? Is this the end of the horseshoe?
She's such a fangirl. She now hates you.
Well, because think about it. It's like I know what it's like to have to talk to a fan who may be super starstruck by me, and I know how awkward that feels.
Well, now Mari is bragging. Now I hate both of you.
Wow.
It's a bunch of braggadocious assholes in this.
But therefore, I want to be cool and not come off as like, oh my god, I'm fangirling now too. What do you have in your hand?
Is that a receipt?
I'm trying to see the last time I've worn this jacket. There's a receipt in it.
Oh.
I want to see the date.
It's when you went to war, Jay.
Clearly, it was when I wore a face mask, so it's been a while. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Wait, where did you get this jacket? You told us the hat story, but not the jacket.
The jacket I just got from H&M, and I actually don't wear it that much. I don't like it, but now I'm seeing it on, and I'm like, maybe I do like it. I like jackets a lot, but you could only wear them. I love jackets and hats. 6/22/21. Oh, that's not. Wow.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Wait, that's. I haven't worn this in 3 years.
2 years. Oh wait, this is 24
Great.
already? What the heck?
Yeah, so yeah, that's 3 years. Wow.
Damn.
Okay.
I bought,
hate
from
my
what I
life.
could see, I bought American Yellow, Honey Ham, fresh homemade mozzarella,
Restaurant
Lucchini
boy.
hot chops, Coke, Mamma Mia mini something,
You make pizza that night, I'm assuming?
freeze-dried goo. What could that be? GU.
What is freeze? Okay, can we
Freeze-dried.
just seriously assess the fact that he has these weird goo and like creams and like is this what it means like to get older? You have all these concoctions
Why you keep on
of
telling
like
me that he's older? Jesus, Mari!
Because
And-
he said he was older.
Ageist.
And yes, you buy a lot of creams. Your body starts to break down. And so you have to buy creams. I put on all sorts of creams. I have some lotions. I have a homosexual lotion that I put on. It's not that's just the name of it. It's just the brand name.
Oh wait, I have a question. You said earlier that Ben Gay made your intimate parts sting. How do you know that?
Abby, that's not. No, I don't want to know that. Listen, I like him. I don't need. There's some. I'm not parasocial. I don't need to know certain things like that. All right. I don't need to know that.
Mari, you need to calm down. I don't know what story you think I'm about to tell. First of all, you don't need to do a science project to learn that if you put icy hot on your privates, it's gonna be icy and hot and not feel good. So I think we could all understand that, right?
Chat, do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you understand that, chat?
That sounds amazing to
Yeah.
me.
And sometimes you don't wash your hands well enough.
And then you wipe your parts with your hand? Oh, I forgot how men pee. Never mind.
Yeah, we hold it. We also hold it just all day long. It's just, if we're watching TV.
How much
Or-
of chat
or
is
hands,
holding it
just-
right now? No!
Oh God. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but there's nothing sexual about it. You just do it.
You just remember that you have it?
No, it's just it's kind of a comfort thing. You put it's like putting your hands in your pockets. It's like a pocket. Well, you guys have more of a pocket, but this is still.
Yeah, whenever I'm
It's,
doing work, I stick it up there, like
I
up
just
right
got
up my
that. That
uterus.
took me.
Okay. Let's wrap this up. Mari, quickly tell us in 30 seconds your mold story, and then it'll go to you, Jay. You give your goodbyes, promote anything you want to promote, or disappear in the ether forever. It is up to you. And then it'll turn to Mari and I to give some final words to chat. So go ahead, Mari.
Oh, basically, I ate mold, and then I told a lot of people that I didn't know, famous people, about it. And yeah, I'm pretty sure some of them followed me after. That's the story.
Oh, TLDR, very fast.
Oh, who was the most famous person?
Some Minecraft YouTuber. I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, that's not famous.
Yeah.
They're the most famous people on Earth right now, Jay.
Yeah, but I don't remember their names, so clear. I just remember the name.
Quackity. Is that-
No, I think his name is something Frost. I don't remember. He's cool though.
Oh,
just-
Robert Frost. Yeah.
It's Robert Frost.
Basically, check your expiration dates before you eat it. Don't be like me and eat mold 3 times and unwashed fruit from yesterday. Just wash your grapes before you eat them.
Also, Jay,
Wash your
final
grapes.
words.
Also, yeah, wash your hands before you touch your own grapes.
Bye, Jay. You're leaving now.
Jay.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. So I hope that you've been enjoying the stream so far. Jay sort of left. He was supposed to be taking questions right now. He sort of dipped. But if you guys have any questions, Mari and I can try to answer it. We also, I'm sure Jay will be happy to be back. As we've been roasting him all night, he's got nothing better to do. Except maybe hang out with all the famous people he knows, but we're also famous.
It's not fair, Abby. It's not fair. I don't understand. It's not fair. When will we be famous?
Right now, once the YouTube algorithm shows my streams again to people.
Oh my god. It's okay. Abby, I'm just happy to have you back. I missed you so much. And I think everyone else here also missed you too. Can we just say how cool that was? Like, Jay, thank you so much for like talking with us today. Like that was so cool.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun. I'm glad you guys seem to enjoy it. I love seeing the comments. If you guys have any questions or any other thoughts, please let us know. I didn't just kick him out. I wanted to set him free. I knew he had a comedy show, but But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, and a round of applause for Mari, my co-host.
Thank you, everyone.
We will be announcing the next episode of Second Dose soon. It'll be towards the end of June because of some special reasons, which are very good. They're very good reasons. So please stay tuned if you enjoy this. I'm gonna very kindly ask that you guys stay tuned for my community posts and my tweets. My YouTube isn't really sending notifications as normal. And I won't for like at least another month while YouTube is fixing it on the back end. So please stay tuned for my posts when I'm streaming, or stay tuned for the waiting rooms. Because otherwise, join the Discord. Yeah. Otherwise, you might not know. Also, Mari, do you have any exciting things you want to promote before we end?
So I know it's been a little bit since Abby and I have like caught up, but I have been doing like daily video uploads. So I just released one today actually about emotes. So that is definitely something if you want to go check out. I also have been drawing a lot more, and I think I'm gonna be hosting another episode of my virtual life sometime next week. I should have the little what's it called? The little live stream thingy up pretty soon. I would like to say though, for questions in the future and stuff, if you all want to submit questions, check our YouTube community post where we will be hosting those questions when we make our announcements. So if you want your questions answered, please check the community post where you can actually ask them.
We have a lot of possibilities for next episodes. We have different comics that do different styles of comedy, or like female comedians, touring comedians, improv writers. We have cosplayers. We have people who have interesting professions like maid cafe, and
game developers.
Game developers. So if you have any particular topic you're interested in, no matter what the topic is, we'll have someone on the docket who will for sure cater to that. So let us know in the comments below, in chat right now, or on the Discord or Twitter at any point. Thank you guys for being here. Mari, say bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Extra Dose. Bye, everybody.
Thank you guys. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.